death randomly at the bottom. This is Biblical Tarot. So if you like to look up scriptures, I would go ahead and get pen and paper while I'm shuffling, because we're going to give out scriptures. We got Spidey in the background and Jesus on the thumbnail. I don't think it gets better than Jesus and Spider-Man, does it? Last night we had St. Michael and Metatron having to do a few things. They were trying to keep our powers suppressed. You know how I've been talking about our powers are being activated? Well, they're trying to suppress them. And it ain't working, but Metatron and Archangel Michael were busy working hard. So this card fell out, and it is the Five of Feathers, and I want you to look at the picture, because I said Michael and Metatron were working hard, and look at all the people that are dead. Look at all the smoke in the background. Right? Here's the incense here, smoke in the background, Spider-Man in the background. I'm talking about suppressing of powers, Metatron, St. Michael, right? So we're going to go ahead, and this one is 1 Samuel 15, verse 23. For rebellion is like the sin of deviation and arrogance, like the evil of idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord, he has rejected you as king. 1 Samuel 15:23. This is about King Saul's tragic downfall. So you want to look up the Five of Swords. You want to look up 1 Samuel, King Saul's downfall. But it's just funny because what a card, right? And I'm just talking about how the people not for the Lord were messing with us in Astro last night, trying to get where our powers are suppressed. And there's no coincidences in any of this, because you know how Spider-Man, he has those superpowers to climb the walls and stuff. Well, I was on a very high building, and it was a house. It wasn't a skyscraper. It was just a really tall house. And I was out on the balcony, and I realized my powers were gone. So it was a tricky situation, but I survived. Thanks to St. Michael and Metatron's help too. You know, they're always with us. But that was the kind of the moral of the story. Okay, so if you're feeling like you've had a little bit of opposition last night, it was a Five of Swords energy, and you did. But look at in the morning, right? They win, meaning the good guys always win. Okay, then we're going to go with the top card here. We got the King of Cups. Come, let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem, and we will no longer be in disgrace. So that makes total sense, because after the tower falls and the people are dead and the smoke is in the background, we have to rebuild. So we've got Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 17. The King of Chalices, Nehemiah rebuilding Jerusalem. So obviously we're in a rebuilding state, and we're also in a state of keeping what we do have. Okay, so while we have to go in and burn these places and do these things that are happening all over the world, then we have to go in and rebuild. And when we rebuild, we have to take out the tunnels. We have to take out the stuff that is no good. So you'll have to go a little bit deeper with what I'm saying, but you're catching it. And if you think astral is much different, it's not, because of the fact that there are still people in astral, souls, spirits, whatever you want to call it, energies, that are still trying to mess with us. As last night when I was up there and realizing I had no powers, like Spider-Man with no powers, it takes you back for a second. But it wasn't long, and it was restored. But it's just like when the lights go out in your house, right? Or your phone goes out. It's that brief minute of, okay, what's the next right thing to do? What's the solution, right? Okay, then we have the Knight of Swords, which is about Paul the Apostle. At once he began to preach in the synagogues that Jesus is the Son of God, Acts chapter 9, verse 20. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm speaking out and telling you about the Five of Swords we had last night, the King of Cups, the rebuilding, and now I'm speaking it to you in an energy format with biblical tarot cards. So then you have to talk about it. Now you're going to hear some readers lately, and they're talking about keeping your projects secret, keeping things secret. Okay, that's fine on a level of your projects and your mission, like an NDA, type of thing, non-disclosure agreements. Okay, but when it comes to talking about the energy and talking about God and talking about what he's doing for you and what you're doing for him, don't be silent. Okay, I'm not going to stop doing energy reads because of a little opposition. And what did I just say? Everything backed up. The Tower card. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about lots of towers happening. This is the Tower of Babel, and it's 16, number 16. What they had to do is there were so many people that were getting together to conspire that they had to separate them somehow. So God thought, well, if everybody has different languages, then that would be a good separation, right? Well, the energy I'm getting right now is just that that's what's going on right now. There's a lot of plane crashes, there's a lot of volcanoes and fires and floods, and there's all this stuff happening because it's separating the good and the bad. It really is. It's that Tower of Babel moment that's going on. And that's why even in astro, being on a big building or a big house, whatever you want to call it, I don't know, I would say 5-10 stories up. I don't know very good how to explain it. It doesn't matter. It's just the fact that I'm out on a ledge and I have no powers. It brings you back to 3D reality real quick in your brain. Okay, then we have the Two of Feathers, which is the Two of Swords. Then God said, take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain. I will show you. Genesis 22, verse 2. This is the Two of Feathers. It's about God tests Abraham's faith, and that's exactly what's going on. This is a big test of faith. Okay, maybe you lost people in one of these catastrophes. Maybe you yourself have felt no power. Okay, well, this is also 222, Genesis 22:2. That is a balance and a harmony number. Okay, and it says God tests Abraham's faith. So we're being tested. And I know some of you don't like to believe that God tests. So you don't have to say God's testing you, but your assignment is. Okay? Your assignment is testing you. Just like me, when I woke up, I didn't wake up, but whatever you want to call it, tried to utilize my powers on the ledge and I didn't have any. Okay. Am I just going to give in and say, okay, enemy, you win? Or am I going to call upon my security team and have them help me? Or am I going to just help myself? You know, it's a test. They like to see what you're going to do. And it felt just like a test. It didn't really feel like a harm, like I'm being harmed evilly. It just felt like a test, like in the Army or the Navy or whatever, where you go through them tests. I think they call it basic training or something. I don't know. I was never in the military in 3D, which reminds me of the A-Team movie. When I called it the Matrix, I called it a 3D Matrix movie because it was all about guns and strategies. Okay, underneath the 5 of feathers is the hanged man. Okay, now this is just saying, it's talking about Peter's crucifixion. Okay, he was upside down when they crucified him because they just wanted to humiliate him a little bit more. If you look on the thumbnail is a picture of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he was saying, boy, I don't know if I want to do this. Just like we're probably sitting here. I'm sitting the same way Jesus was sitting, going, I don't know if I want to do this, but we got to finish the mission. Okay, so we have to get a new perspective on things. Being hung upside down for them was a sign of humility. For us, we're getting a new perspective on this. So waking out of your mission, if you're doing an assignment and you find out you have no power at the moment, it's kind of like being hung upside down. You're seeing everything in a whole different way. You're reverting back to the 3D thinking of, what do I do? Well, I better hang on to the wall for one, right? And then I better figure out how I'm going to get down or back into the window, right? So it's a hanged man. It's a new perspective on your disappointment. Okay, it's underneath the 5 of feathers, which is the 5 of swords. So get a new perspective on what's going on. Don't be looking at things negatively at all, because that's another way they're trying to get you. Okay, if they could have had me just say I give, I would have flunked the test. Okay, underneath the King of Hearts, okay, remember I said King of Chalices is all about love. Okay, and if I didn't, I am now. It's all about love. Okay, cups are love. And this is the Justice card, the 10 Commandments. So this is Moses getting the 10 Commandments from God, and God trying to give you a set of rules that will help you through this. When I said yesterday, don't send back to sender, send back to God, because sending back evil is pretty much you just being evil, sending it back. Okay, that's like the 10 Commandments. God saying that, no, you don't have to listen to them. You can steal, you can fornicate, you can use the name of God in vain, you can be jealous and envious of your neighbors, but all them things are just going to backfire, and you're just joining the evil club. So why don't you just let me handle it? Okay, and that's what I was saying yesterday. So this is also card 11. The Justice card is 11. It's all about justice now. Now, I did the boomerang effect, the sending back evil, because before that I used to put, okay, it's like years ago and lifetimes ago, I would do eye for an eye. Then I got to where I would just send back the power, send back the evil. Now I'm on the next level, which is the highest level, where you just give it to God. Okay? So if you're still sending back evil, then you're just on a lower level. And I'm trying to raise you to a higher level. Just like Moses was trying to get the people on a higher level by telling them, this is what God wants you to do. Okay, you don't have to listen. You can keep returning to sender. You can even do unto others as they do unto you, and do eye for an eye. Okay, but I'm showing you the different steps. 1, I do evil to you. 2, I do evil. No, I don't do evil. You send evil, I send it back. Boomerang effect. And 3rd level, I don't even play your game anymore. I just give it to God. And the security, I don't even play your game no more. Okay, so Knight of Swords, underneath the Knight of Swords is the 8 of Pentacles, and that's about hard work paying off, and also hard work preaching. Do you think it's easy for me to do this every day? I do it 24/7, even though I'm only on here once a day. I love it though. It's me. I can be me. Just like AA was me for 30 years, 29. Okay, so the 8 of Grains is the craftsman. So that means faith. Works. So Bezel, Olub, and every skilled person to whom the Lord has given skill and ability to know how to carry out all the work of constructing the sanctuary are to do the work just as the Lord commanded. So we're going right back to the 10 commandments. Then it says, what am I supposed to be preaching? Well, I'm supposed to be preaching the 8 of Grains, which is found in John chapter 4:14. Okay, these other ones were major arcanas. We had the Tower, we had the Hanged Man, we had Justice. They don't have scriptures. They're just major blows, okay? This is John chapter 4, verse 14. It's the number 8 card. And it's just saying that you're going to have to put some work into this. It's not exactly easy, okay? Underneath the Tower card is the High Priest, number 5 card, Aaron's brother of Moses. So since we were talking about Moses, we also want to talk about our soul family. Because what's going on, this is under the Tower, what's going on is that like Lee, Irene, and Milo that are on here, okay, on the live, the towers are happening so that the soul family can come together. So even if I don't mention your name, I feel you in the live, you're in the energy. And when you're on a repeat or a rewatch, you're in the energy. Okay, so I may be cooking lunch and I feel you because you're watching one of my videos. So the soul family is coming together and you're starting to feel it. Okay, the towers have to happen so that the soul family can come together. And you have been hearing about how the wheat and the chaff is being separated. That's to bring the soul family in. And then the last card is in reverse. So the 7 of Pentacles is in reverse. So what's the warning here? Okay. First of all, it was under the 2 of Swords. So there's a decision that you're going to have to make. And they're warning you, the parable of the sowers. I understand that. Still, other seed fell on good soil where it produced a crop. 160 or 30 times what was sown. Matthew chapter 13, verse 8. So do you understand that one? I do. What's the decision you have to make? Are you going to choose good seed or bad seed? Are you going to plant good or are you going to plant not at all and just be lazy? Okay, so definitely choose your friends, choose your soul family correctly, choose your thinking correctly, right? So the big warning here is the Seven of Grains, and it was in reverse. So when it's in reverse, it's telling me that your warning is that you really have to watch who you're dealing with. All right. You only want soul family. Get rid of the rest. And you want them on your level. So I've got soul family that are underneath and I teach. And I have soul family above me that teaches me. And then I have people that I connect with on a daily basis that we're on the same level. Okay. And that's what you're waiting for with your mission partner. You're waiting for someone to be on the same level as you so you guys can all day long talk to each other and do stuff like this. Maybe there'll be a lot of videos in the future of two people. And now here is, and then he comes on and does his video. You know, who knows? So that was an awesome, awesome reading. This was a biblical tarot reading. You have lots to look up. You have lots to think about. But I think you got the major gist of this, didn't you? You caught my drift. Okay, 2141 on the clock, and I am Miss Mystic, and I want to thank you for listening.